Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This one is about the first song on my album called My World. I feel so silly saying that because who the fuck have I made this for? Absolutely no one but myself. I am not signed to a record label. I do not have an audience. However, I'm having fun, so who gives a fuck? Okay, so My World is the first song on my album. It has two jobs. It's meant to kind of introduce you to the sound of the album, and it's meant to introduce you to the story and what this is actually about. And I feel like I've achieved both of those things. I'll play the song at the end of the video, but I'll talk about it first. So, for a bit of context, I plan to have 14 songs. Currently, I have made 11. The 11 songs that I've made, I am happy with most of them. Some of them, I have a few tweaks I need to make. I just haven't had time because of fuck-ass uni and fuck-ass other shit that I have to do. Because life isn't just fun and games. So the lyrics for this song, I needed to kind of get across the idea that we are kind of entering a world that I've created. The album is called My World, so it needs to kind of explain what that is, seeing as though the track is called My World and it's also the first track. From memory, I've never really listened to anything that does the same thing. I know of albums that have a world that the artist has created, and the first song doesn't have that kind of meta explanation as to what this world is. The only thing I can think of is Travis Scott's album, maybe his first one, where he has that monologue, but it's a monologue. It's not done through the actual song itself. Or maybe in Kanye West's Dark Twisted Fantasy, he has that same kind of monologue that Nicki Minaj does at the start. But again, I feel like it's not the same thing. Mine does have a monologue that is kind of a reference to that dark fantasy Nicki Minaj thing. But it's a sample by from Alice in Wonderland, where Alice is talking about her world and what her world would be. And it only goes for like 15 seconds, and then the song starts. This probably won't remain in the song forever just because of copyright, but right now the intention was to have that there originally. Yeah, so through the lyrics of the song, I kind of get across the idea that my world is kind of like a place. The first lyrics of this song are, my world is a place, it's a world that we chase, it's a place that we've been to, it's everything you've been through. Let your eyes wander around and your ears pick up sound, and for a moment it'll feel like you're part of my world. That's pretty self-explanatory, I don't really need to explain that. Staring at your face, look away, I don't mean to, it's funny how the things you want just seem so far away. Wake up and you're here, yet again, time to pretend everything is fine, there's nothing on your mind. This has the implicit meaning of the things that you want seem so far away, and that's why you wake up and you're unhappy with your life, kind of thing. But yeah, it's this whole idea that my world is this meta thing where it's my world in the sense that it's the name of the album. It's the name of the music and this piece of art that I've made. But it's also my world in the sense that it's my inner world that I've presented to the audience and created and materialized into this thing. And then it's also the audience's world, a place that they can go to where they can also escape from their lives. Because I use music as like an escape, I guess, or as a form of inspiration, where I listen to these albums and these artists, and in a way I'm entering their world. And so this is kind of like a more obvious explanation for what that is. So the lyrics continued. Time and time again, we think the world is going to end, that everything is evil, that feeling isn't real. If only... Okay, that line can be read two ways. That feeling isn't real, as in the fear you have isn't real, or that feeling isn't real. Like, the things that you feel aren't real. However you want to interpret that, whatever. If only there's a way to escape, a way to see through the glass-shaped people. And this is kind of opening it up, like, oh, if only there was a way to understand, to kind of get through this, you know? And then I answer that with the next verse, which is, listen to my world where your feelings dance and twirl. The reflection in your eyes, it's just you in disguise. There are no other answers. They live inside the mansion of your mind. Come and step inside. So it's kind of inviting you into my world. And this, I love the kind of multiple meanings that this has. Like, it reminds me of like how you need to invite a vampire in, otherwise he won't come in. So I'm kind of giving the audience permission to kind of think harder about this, or like permission to kind of to enter their own world or enter my world, you know. The mansion in your mind is also a reference to, it's a biblical reference. I don't know specifically which, but I do know that Jesus talks about a kind of mansion in your mind. But this isn't meant to be religious at all. It's just kind of a fun coincidental reference. And I like the imagery of it too. The reflection in your eyes is just you in disguise, is that whole idea that the world is kind of us pushed out, where we project ourselves onto the world. And so my world is a kind of personification of this, where it literally is the reflection of me and everything that I experience. And I'm saying to the audience that this is the same with you, and that what you're experiencing right now is also just the reflection, is just you in disguise, you know? Like, I am just you in disguise. And that's an advanced kind of idea, but I like to keep it in there because it, without, I guess, understanding that, it still has the same kind of mystical or like interesting quality to it, which I really like. None of this is meant to kind of be understood, I guess. Like, I don't expect people to listen to it to be like, oh, that's what he means. But I do think art is meant to be layered, and all the great art that I know has this kind of layered layers to it, where there's the surface meaning, but then there's also the deeper meaning. So for this song, the surface meaning would be, I'm inviting you to enter my world, whatever that may mean. The deeper meaning is that my world is your world, and where I'm inviting you to understand yourself and to understand me. And then again, it repeats, my world is a place, it's a world that we chase, it's a place that you've been to, it's everything you've been to. Let your eyes wander around and your ears pick up sound. For a moment, you'll feel like you're a part of my world. That let your eyes wander around, I love, because it's kind of like that curiosity of like looking around, like what's going on here. But it's also a kind of half reference to that Radiohead lyric, I'd be crazy not to follow your eyes, they turn me. And so is that lyric in my song, staring at your face, look away, I don't mean to. And it's just kind of this theme of not being able to make eye contact, which comes up later in the album with a very specific song called Whispers, which I'll make a video about too. But this failing to make eye contact or failing to see someone is a recurring theme. Failing to understand yourself and see people for who they are, see yourself for your feelings for what they actually mean. That there is a kind of illusion that we're failing to pierce, you know? And so I'm inviting you to my world where we can hopefully understand those feelings and emotions and pierce that veil. Pierce the veil. That's another effort. No. And so the glass-shaped people, there's a lyric in this song, if only there's a way to see through the glass-shaped people. This is what I mean. It's this idea that glass is interesting because you can see through it and you can look at it at the same time. And so it's this whole thing of like, do you want to just look at something for what it is, glass, or do you want to see through it and see everything behind it? And this idea that people are like that too, that on the surface we are just glass, we are this physical thing, but if you look through them, there's a whole world reflected inside of them, and that's what that means. As for the sonically, what the song sounds like, I wanted it to be airy and kind of weightless and dreamlike. The song inspirations for this one was the song, it's a song by Moby, but I forgot what it's called. Porcelain, maybe? but ASAP Rocky samples it. But that was a huge inspiration for what I wanted this to sound like. The beat for the song is actually the same beat as Closer by Nine Inch Nails. I didn't sample it, but fun fact, the first thing I ever did in music production at all was I was trying to copy that beat from Closer. And so that's what that is me copying that beat or trying to mimic it just by like exploring the thing. It's just sped up. So that's a fun little fact. And I kept it in there because it's the first song. Like, how could I not? It's the first thing I've ever done, and it exists in that song, and I really like that. But yeah, again, the little monologue at the start, I didn't intend for, but it's very reminiscent of that Nicki Minaj thing she says at the start of Dark Fantasy by Kanye West, where she's like, "You might think you've peaked the scene. You haven't. The real one's far too mean. The watered down one, the one you know, was made up centuries ago. They made it sound all whack and corny. Yes, it's blissful, blah, 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 blah." But, yeah, it's kind of the same idea if you think about it. It's saying, like, there's a truth here I'm trying to tell you. Like, listen up. And I like that. And what you'll find is that kind of idea isn't unique to one person. It's in so much different art and so much different things, films and music and TV and animation and whatever it may be. I also use this song uses the thing I came up with, which I think is original to me, perhaps, I don't know, but using ad-libs as like voices that are like kids' voices, and that's meant to represent like the innocence that we're in right now, where there are songs on this album that kind of have that innocence, and there'll be designated certain sections within the album where that will be a quality of those songs where the ad-libs will have that like be children or have like children laughing or whatever it may be, you know. I feel like it really adds a feeling to these songs. And then there will be songs that doesn't have that but instead has screaming or laughing, like evil laughing kind of thing, and it's this juxtaposition that's meant to kind of another clue as to what's going on here, whether or not we are in like a dream or like a beautiful part of the album, or if we're in like an evil kind of nightmarish part. But what we'll find is neither of them are good or bad. They're all just the same thing, just said differently. So yeah, I use those ad-libs, and to do that, I obviously don't have access to a bunch of kids. I can't do that. Radiohead for oh yeah, and then so this was kind of inspired by Radiohead. The song 15 Step has these kids cheering in it, and I've always really liked that because it adds a kind of playful innocence to the song. And through research, I found out that they managed to get a whole bunch of kids that they recorded just for that, and obviously I can't do that. So my compromise was, you can get AI robot voices, and so that's what they are, is like kids voices, AI things. And I feel like that adds a whole nother layer, is that they're like, it's not real, it's like this electronic kind of false fake illusion of the actual thing. I find that kind of interesting. But it works in the song, and I really like it. It's one of my favorite parts of it. The song kind of builds and builds, where there'll be like these violins or whatever, or these I don't know what it's called, like orchestra kind of thing towards the end, and then it ends with this kind of big explosion. And this is meant to sonically be falling down the rabbit hole, or falling into my subconscious, or entering my world. And this is kind of corroborated by it ending with me waking up being like like capturing that breath as if I've just landed in like a new place. And this leads directly into the next song. And I feel like I nailed that pretty well. I feel like it really does give you that impression like you've just been sucked into something, or that you've fallen down into something. But yeah, I think that's everything. Yeah. Anyway, I hope you found that interesting. I plan to make more videos about the songs because I don't know what to do with them, and my intuition is just saying to talk about it, because I like talking and I like making these videos, and so yeah, make videos about the songs that I'm making. Bang! Yeah, so I'll see you in the next video. Peace.